Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I will present about personal protective equipment (PPE) for assignment ECM367. For student information, my name is Nur Ain Amira binti Mohamad Supian. I am from ECM367 UiTM Cawangan Pahang Campus Sengkang. For table of content, we have 4 sections which are the introduction of PPE, person include, type of PPE for construction work, and conclusion. The introduction, what is PPE in construction? PPE is a clothing that want to reduce exposure to hazard that cause serious workplace injuries and illness for all hazard at site construction. What is the importance of PPE? Firstly, for skin to protect from contact with corrosive chemical, then eyes to protect the irritating substance, the respiratory system to protect from inhalation of hazardous dust. Next, for hearing canal that can protect from loud noise that could cause damage, and the whole body that protect from too exposed to extreme of temperature. Person include who can wear PPE inside construction. The first one is employee, which are the agency workers, such as workers, site managers, site safety, engineer, and another agency. Next is self-employee, and lastly non-employee such as visitor and contractor. Type of PPE, how many of construction PPE? The first one is body and skin protection. Body and skin protection is a PPE protective clothing that can protect the entire body from contact with substance. Here is some type of PPE that specific for it's suitable for some hazard and have the specific hazard. The type of body and skin protection, which the first one is separate, that only cover part of body such as jacket and trousers. Number 2 is apron, that only cover part of the body. The number 3 is coverall, that cover whole body, and it may use reusable or disposable such as chemical suit. The number 4 is knee pad. The number 5 is gaiter, and the last one is hard fiber or metal guard. For skin protective to be effective, we have to wear the protective clothing for suitable hazard. We have to store the wound clothing separately from clean clothing. We have to follow manufacturer instruction, because for each PPE we have a specific instruction and specific hazard. And do not wear loose clothing near moving machinery. It is very important. The hazard for body and skin protection is large amount of chemicals such as spray or jets. Large quantity of extremely dangerous substance would be necessary, such as gas or liquid. Modest amount of low risk chemicals such as splash proof, and lastly the water contact, such as if we walking outside in the rain, we have to have and wear the PPE that waterproof PPE. The next one is respiratory protection. The respiratory protection that a PPE that can protect ourselves from dangerous and any hazard that can affect our internal area of the respiratory, such as mouth, throat, esophagus, and lung. So there is three types of respiratory system, which is the air purifying and air supply. For air purifying, we have two categories which are empower and power. For empower, we have disposable filtering half mask, and full face mask. And for the power, air purifying is half mask, full face mask, helmet, hood, and visor. So for air supply, we have to refer the specialist advice. Next is hazard is an inhalation of dust, gases, vapor, and mist. For next is head protection. Head protection is a PPE that the special PPE for protect our head from injuries and illness at workplace. So if we see from this photo, there are type of helmet. So the white one is for engineer. The yellow one is for worker. The blue is technical operator, and another color. So type of head protection is the first one is a safety helmet that designed to protect against the material falling from a head or swinging object. The second one is corpse protector that designed to protect from knocking against stationary object. And the last one is cap or hairnet that protect against entanglement. So the hazard is driving motorcycle, building repair, construction, work in excavation or tunnel, and work in boat or driving too. So for hearing protection, the hearing protection is PPE that will reduce exposure or hazard that cause serious injury and illness at site contraction that specifically for ear. So from this picture, we see some type of PPE for hearing PPE. So this type of hearing protection, disposable protective clothing such as Primo earplug that come in different size and an ear to fit the different size ear canal, and they have virtually no expansion or contraction. The next is formable or foam earplug that when we wear the ear plug correctly, this type of earplug will expand to fill the ear canal and sit against the wall. This expansion allows the foam earplug to fit ear canal of different size. Next is ear muff. This device fits against the head and encloses the entire perimeter of external ear. The inside of the mouth cuff inline the acoustic foam. The lastly is hearing band or canal cap. This device covers the ear canal at this opening. They do not provide as much as seal inside the ear canal. So the next one is eye. So for eye protection, type of eye protection is safety glass. If safety glass, chemical splash, cooker, dust cooker, fluid resistant sheet, face sheet, welding sheet. So for the safety glass, it is ordinary. Alright. They are from glass. And next, chemical splash cooker to protect the eyes from radiation, chemical, and another dangerous hazard. The next one is dust cooker to prevent the last particle from entering the cooker. Then the fluid resistant shield, and that protection from biological materials such as fluid. Then the face sheet that protect against hazardous liquid splash or spray, and the welding sheet to protect the eyes from infrared. Eyes protective to be effective, we have to wear the clean and protect eyewear from scratch, because it will reduce to visibility if there are some scratch on the eyewear. And when anti-static fluid are required, use them. And when necessary, replace the eyewear if the eyewear is damaged. So the next one is hazard. The hazard for this PPE is flying or expert particle, such as when you're walking with machinery. Next, dust, gas, vapor, or liquid of machine operation, high pressure cleaning, or the use of substance under pressure. The dangerous substance such as liquid or chemical splash, heat or hot material entering or damaging eyes. Example, radiant heat, welding, oven. And lastly, radiation such as strong light or other optical radiation. So the next one is foot protection. The footwear may be required to protect the feet and lower limb from specific risks. It is critically to protect the feet because users may rely on them to do stand up job. So this is the types of foot protection. So the foot protection. The first one is safety boot, the common type of safety footwear. The second one is Wellington boot that suitable for working in wet condition. Next one is cloth. This is often used in kitchen, gardens, and medical surgeries. Then the specialist footwear that develop against the risk associated with specific duties, such as boots for working in foundries, or when you're using the chainsaw. The next is gaiter and spec to cover the ankle and legging. So for the hazard is from the cut and abrasion are caused by impact. Falling object have the potential to crush the feet and toes, such as when handling heavy tools. And lastly, the punctures For example, standing on sharp or pointed item on the ground. So the next one is hand and arm protection. So it is critical to protect the hand and arm because users are likely to rely on them for work as well as other elements to their life. So the hand is very important because we doing work with our hand. Okay. So there are there are types of hand and arm protection. The first one is glove that protect the hand only. The second one is glove with a cuff that protect the hand and the wrist. The third one is gloveless sleeve and long glove that protect hand, wrist and part of forearm. And the last one is sleeve and arm protection that will protect arm or whole of forearm. And there is the three other type of PPE for hand and arm, such as mitre, wrist, cuff, and armlet. So for the hazard is from cut and abrasion from handling sharp object, electrical hazard because usually the PPE for arm is not uh, is like penebat for electrical and it will protect our hand from dangerous chemical and radioactive material, contact extreme temperature, working in cool workplace or cool weather to maintain the uh, manual working system for our body, and lastly for skin infection and disease. So the next one is disposal, the protective clothing. From the OSHA that we conduct the regular workplace inspections, this disposal protective gear is so crucial. So usually this type of PPE we can wear only one time for recommended longer of time only. So the type of disposable protective clothing is such as a coverall or chemical suit, PPE, glove, foot protection, respirator, eye goggle, hard hat, and earplug. So the importance of disposable protective clothing is when the employee feel safe at work, they are more engaged and productive in work. Number two, a safe workplace and can enhance the corporate and community social responsibility goals. And the last one, the workplace safety rule can help to support the day-to-day operation by the establishing and uniform procedure. So for the hazard is hazardous material and chemical, environmental hazard, and heavy machinery operations. So for this type of hazard, there is specific PPE for each hazard. For and I think this is the last one for harness protection or falling protection. It is a protective equipment designed to protect a person from injury or damage from falling to the ground or any other high place. Types of protection equipment is positioning, suspension, and retriever. So there is some class of four class for fall protection system, which the class 1 is body belts. It used to prevent or arrest a fall within 3 feet of movement. Class 2 is chest harness are utilized when there are only minor fall hazard. The third class is full body harness are intended to stop the more severe free fall. And the last one is class 4. The suspension belt are sense content to do high risk fall, which is the highest falling. So for the conclusion is all workers must wear shirt with sleeves, long work pants and sturdy work shoes or specific PPE for suitable hazard. Okay. The PPE is very important for ourselves and our safety. So we have to wear it neatly and follow the instruction that provided, because it will increase the PPE to protect our body and ourselves. So thank you. That's all from me. Bye. Bye.